Thank you for having me. I was supposed to be a quick snack for you guys before the Mohammed's presentation, actually something that is very digestible and easy to go. But we will wrap it up with unified commerce. Presentation is named Innovate and Differentiate with Unified Commerce, and Mohammed already mentioned the difference between the stores, physical locations, service point, and physical stores. And unified commerce, actually, it's about it. Like why you need to use service points or like click and collect, mostly known in Europe as click and collect, and other applications that actually shows unified commerce. So unified commerce in Spryker, it's two applications. One, it's click and collect piece. Another one, it's fulfillment tooling. For fulfillment side, we have fulfillment application that is based on our new Oryx framework. It was announced last week on Excite, and currently it takes the best out of the PVA application, so it can work offline, for example. Click and collect, it's exactly what Mohammed mentioned. It's infrastructure around physical locations. So if you don't know what does it mean like business store, it can be a store in a matter of region, or it can be a physical location or like service point, and we'll talk about it. So one step up to give you a context why actually we in Spryker invested during 2023 in unified commerce. And that's because of two factors that most of the companies faced in 2023. And it's demand for growth and demand for efficiency. Most of our clients actually faced them one way or another, and I'm happy that several like cohorts or maybe like business verticals start looking into the efficiency and growth in unified commerce world. Yeah, that's why we provided enhancement in the click and collect case, and we invested in new fulfillment application. Why actually this trend? So it's obvious, like war in Ukraine, energetical crisis, and like macroeconomical situation in general shows that companies want to provide, invest in efficiency, invest in cost management, but still every company wants to grow. Yeah. And that's why we can see that based on a CEO survey, still most of the investment will go into the growth, but with in cost-efficient manners. In most cases, companies will try to look into the already existing infrastructure and how it can be leveraged in a different way. Last but not least, some companies faced cost cuts. Yeah, it touched some processes, some benefits. Sometimes team was reducted, but what we can see now, then investors in product are still very, very high into the list of cut. Yeah, but most likely it would not be cut out of scope for development for the next iteration, next years. And the same goes for any tool and technologies that improve efficiency and scalability. So the first three places to cut costs in the companies, it's investment in like in research, improvements of sustainability, and workforce and talent development. So why it's important now? As example, I want to show you like typical B2C example. That's a Target. Those of you who are familiar with US market knows that it's one of the biggest B2C retailers. They are selling like everything, starting from grocery and ending with furniture. And during 2019, they invested billions in the unified commerce experience. They made it very, very smooth. One of the best examples that I ever saw, and I was looking at during the last 2 years because they continue investing in it, and it's very smooth. Like it has perfect example of leveraging offline and online flows where it's digitalized from the start to the end and where it provides very transparent experience for a customer. I used even several of them, and I used my director from US as like a copycat. So I was ordering stuff to his apartment just to understand how the system works. And it's really good. And that pays off because Target for the last years, they're showing huge growth. So it's more than 400% growth in online. And currently online sales makes 50% of the general company revenue. And that's only because in online, it's leveraged both working fulfillment processes in the physical location as return services and also selling via online store and via pickup. Another case, let's look in Europe, D2C. So our manufacturers start to provide different services and open the partnership with a partnership or their own service points where they can either sell something or, for example, book a demo. So if you have D2C customers that tries to provide extra service for the end customers for some customized products like these earphones, then there is a service point that can provide additional service not only for selling, but for making a demo for a customer or return service. Or it can provide, for example, a pickup service, and it would be just a locker, like Amazon locker, and it will have its own properties. And we will talk about them later. So what's happening in B2B? So we already see that B2C and D2C actually are making a market very lovely for the end customer. And for subscription, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, Starbucks started subscription and they started actually loyalty program, and after the subscription to their products for B2B. But we all know Netflix, and it's like icebreaker for the subscription businesses. For omnichannel, we already talked about Target. It works in very smoothly in offline and online mode, so you would not distinguish actually your buying experience from offline and online. So good it is. Interactive contact and configurators are always before our eyes because we can, in the same like Netflix, we can customize, or in YouTube, we can customize what we want to see and how we want to consume this information. Same goes with current wave of chatbots, AI generated responses for our information and with personalization and reviews. This also was a core business of B2C. And now what I can see is that B2B actually trying to implement the same, but in their own universe. So let's look on one of the examples. It's Spryker client, Alice Auto. They are implementing their own version of unified commerce with partnership of their dealers. So each dealer shows their own physical location, and instead of selling everything through their own brand and on website, they started to look forward how we can leverage our partnership network and dealer network in a way that we can bring all of them under one platform, but provide a service that will serve wider audience and then earn money not on direct sales, but on fees. In this idea, they created this B2B2C platform where both B2C customers can have fully digitalized experience, starting from picking a car and getting it in the physical location, or buying any needed accessories there. Same goes for our next champion. It's Farnell. It's typical B2C, typical B2B, where they invested a lot in making one particular change. So the Farnell Travel, it's UK-based company for electronical system design supply. So they're selling sockets, cables, etc. And they had a big network of small warehouses and physical stores. And they invested in one particular option for their client, click and collect. In click and collect, they added ability to pick up products for their B2B customers, so do not to avoid waiting of the products. And they find out that despite of the general size of order reduction, so size of order got way smaller, so 10 times smaller than average. Average monthly revenue grew significantly. Yeah, that's why this B2B company that opened their warehouses and their like small offline stores more like purely B2B to their partners and B2B clients for pickup options. They even got a reward in their particular industry for cutting edge customer service. Yeah, but for B2C, click and collect existed for already multiple years. For B2B, it's still a revolution. So what unified commerce do and why B2B companies started to look in it and invest it? First of all, it's a reduction of shipment cost because you are sharing the most expensive piece of delivery from the manufacturer to the end customer, and it's last mile delivery. Yeah? Because you are giving opportunity to a customer actually to get this cost to have this cost shared or even like fully hand over to customer side. And still it's okay because customers can leverage different size of orders and they can pick up in multiple locations if they really need to. But that can happen only if you have efficient fulfillment process where you can share your end results, so your stock online, and it's exposed to your customers. So customers can, for example, create several small orders in 5 or 10 of your physical location and then pick up them based on their flexible routes that they have, or they can pack everything in one big pallet or container and wait several weeks, days to have their order fulfilled and delivered. So it's always an option. It doesn't mean that typical warehouse process where you have huge order and you are delivering in pallets or delivering in containers doesn't work for B2B companies. It still work, but this additional option increases ability to sell more, but in smaller packages. And because it touches physical infrastructure, what I got from one of the insights after the Excite, I was given the same presentation there, that one of our partners says that when we're touching physical world, it's not that soft. We like to work in software because it's software. It can be changed. Despite we are talking about constraints, dependencies, it's still possible. When we're talking about physical location, it cannot become bigger. You cannot put extra pallets there, or you cannot expand sometimes the store itself to have actually a pickup point. That's why leveraging unified commerce can be challenging, but it also opens totally new opportunities for a business, how work with the partners. Same goes with different capabilities of click and collect and unified commerce in general, because you can avoid overstocking by leveraging local inventory in your physical stores. One of the most important benefits, you can bundle your products and services inside the location where customer picks them up. And you have opportunity to advertise your services or extra product for free for an audience that already buys from you. This strategy is actually actively in use in one of our biggest clients, and they even created a special place in a physical store where a customer should go in, and while he's getting to this point of where he can pick up their orders, you should see some advertisement, some extra products, small ones, and they find out that 30% of their orders got extra purchase inside the physical store. And it's huge, yeah, to get extra sell, even if it costs €5 for free. It's something that every business wants. That's why we have in this in big supermarket a huge line of not garbage products, but some extras that you can take and add to your basket just because you are bored and you were staying. And of course, when we are talking about efficiency, unified commerce can help you to optimize your store staffing because now you can leverage your stuff that works in offline store in a way that it also helps with pickup process, deliveries, and fulfillment of your orders. So it's not only something that makes your warehouse overfilled with orders. As already mentioned, in Spryker, unified commerce consists out of two parts, enhanced click and collect, where you have service points as like primary physical object that represents the physical landscape, where it can be a brick and mortar store location, can be a house location, can be a locker, etc. It works together with merchants, so you can also provide ability in marketplace scenario to have service points that are operated either by marketplace owner or by merchant. So merchants can also sell through the service points, and you're still flexible in a way how you want to deliver to the service points or from the service points. Yeah. So we introduced shipment types, and this shipment type defines is it suitable for is this particular product suitable for a particular service point. For example, you cannot put fish inside the locker because it can spoil other orders. Yeah, that's why the shipment types defines is this delivery, product only for delivery, or product only for click and collect, or for both. Another piece of the unified commerce, it's Spryker fulfillment application. As I mentioned, it's based on Oryx framework. Our new front-end framework, it's made out of customizable components, and it's based on the best practices of PWA application, so it can work offline in warehouses without Wi-Fi connection or internet connection. It works based on our new pick list concept, so it's opens a way to have fulfillment application work with single order picking or multi-order picking. So there is a different concepts of picking orders in the warehouses. It can be wave-based picking, zone-based picking, or single order picking. So pick lists are open to all of these options. And because it works based on our backend API infrastructure that we introduced specifically for these purposes as well, it's much more performant and improved and scalable compared to our previous picking app that we had. And because it's new or Spryker Oryx framework, it's highly customizable. On our hackathon on Excite, we saw significant speed for developing it, but not only that, the whole capabilities are huge. For example, one of the teams, they actually wrapped the Oryx app, like front-end web application, and introduced it as a widget inside the app platform. So it was like Apple in iOS. And on iPhone, you got native widget as native application, and that was a wraparound Spryker Oryx framework. So, to summarize, if you see that during the requirement phase, people are talking about business stores, people, your clients, are trying to understand how they can map their requirements to the digital landscape in Spryker as well. So think about, you already had a checklist how to think about stores and how to map the infrastructure. Now how map it inside the Spryker business capabilities. So if we're talking about any type of physical location, then service point will be the way to go. If we're talking about any type of fulfillment options or ability to provide extra information or ability to work with the fulfillment process outside of warehouse or small warehouses, then it's definitely something that fulfillment application can help you with. And if you can see any of these 5 points inside the business requirements that comes from your customer, and they have physical locations, they have physical stores, and they're looking in something that where they can invest in growth and efficiency, then unified commerce will be one of the options that they have.